morning, students. We'll start with our chapter number 15, Improvement in Food Resources, first main topic. We saw in the first session just the basic introduction. Now we are supposed to start with our first topic, and that is nothing but improvement in crop yield. Right? So, what we are supposed to know over here is that we are first supposed to see how can yield means production, how can crop production be improved. Let us start. See, all these things would be very, very important as far as learning is concerned and as far as notes are concerned, right? And wherever it would be possible, animated version, almost in all the cases, animated version would be presented, right? So both the ways it would be easy for you. Now first, cereals such as, cereals means anaj, these cereals, right? Such as wheat, rice, maize, millet and sorghum. Sorghum means juwar. Provide us with carbohydrates for energy requirement. See, generally when at our house, suppose we are having the a full meal. In our language what we say, rotli dal bhat shak, right? So that RDBS we don't like. When children are told that today this is the menu, they will not like it. But what you don't understand is that it is a perfect balanced diet. In which way? Chapati or rice, which you will eat, will contain wheat or rice, which is nothing but cereals. They would provide you with carbohydrates for energy requirement. Instant energy will be given to you by carbohydrates, and that is obtained from cereals, anaj. So that is very essential. Then in the first session we saw that food gives us carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, right? So let us see from where all these are available. Pulses like gram, black gram, green gram, pigeon pea and lentil provide us with protein. From where do we get protein? Then answer is gram. Actually gram means chana. But nowadays in English common term is used for both moong and gram. So either way you can use it, mag, kala mag, lila mag, that is how. Or chana, kala chana and green ones also come. You must have seen that, right? So all these things. Basically it means chana only, but mug also is inclusive in the same. Pigeon pea means in the book it is given arhar, that is nothing but tuer. And in Gujarat this is eaten in the large amount. And lentil means masoor. All this provide us with so much of protein. So dal must be consumed by us, right? Why? Because they would provide us with protein, which is very, very essential for our body. Then oil seeds. We have seen carbohydrates, we have seen proteins. Now we are seeing fats, oil seeds, including soya bean, groundnut seeds, sesame, custard, mustard, linseed and sunflower provide us with necessary fats. Now, what happens is that from chapati and rice, you will get carbohydrates. From dal, you will get proteins. Right? If you have tuvar dal or mug or masoor or whatever, that will give you proteins that must be consumed in good quantity. What about fats? See, the oil which we use in vegetables, we are talking only about agriculture, so oil seeds, otherwise ghee which we apply on chapati, that also provides you with fats, but it has not been included because we are dealing at present with agriculture. In the vegetable or in dal, oil is required. So these oil seeds, including soya bean. So when you make vegetable, even in the tempering of the dal and all, oil is required. So tempering means vagar. So in all that, oil or ghee is required in these cases. Fats are obtained. If we talk of plant fats, then soya bean oil. Nowadays it has come into vogue. Groundnut, commonly it is the main oil used in Gujarat, right? Groundnut, sing tel. Especially when we want to fry something, only groundnut was also preferred at certain time. Then sesame, talnu tel, what we call. Castor means divel. Mustard means sarso, kacchi gani tel, what we call. Linseed and sunflower. Sunflower oil is also becoming very popular. Nowadays, the doctors and all nutritionists, they recommend that we should not keep on using same type of oil. We should keep on rotating. So once groundnut, then soya bean, then sometimes mustard if you feel it like having, or sunflower, or that maize oil, makai, all that can be used. In short, they will provide you with necessary fats. So we have seen from where in our diet we will get carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Vegetables, spices and fruits provide a range of vitamins and minerals in addition to the small amount of proteins, carbohydrates and fats. So, you will say that then from where would we get vitamins and minerals? Answer is vegetables, right? Even spices, whatever masala we use, may it be asafoetida means that hing, then turmeric, haldi, or even red chili powder or jeera powder, cumin powder, all these masala give us lot of benefit. They give us vitamins, minerals, even fruits must be consumed. They give us so many vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, etc., which are very essential for us. Plus, small amount of protein, carbohydrates, and fats are also given by all these. So, in short, and one of the most vital nutrient, I must use the word nutrient, though it is not, it is water. Water is available everywhere. It is used everywhere in the food, whether it is dal or for that matter in chapati, kneading the dough, or in cooking of rice. So water is very essential. Water must be consumed. So in short, our food gives us carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, water, etc. So agriculture is helpful in providing all round nutrients to the body. In addition to these food crops, this is for us. What about animals? Then for animals there are fodder crops for chara like barsim. Then oats. See, there was a time when portion of oats was eaten only by animals. Nowadays, oats they provide us so much of soluble fibers, so it is consumed even by us, right? In great quantity. Obviously, the part of the plant used is different. So, oats, this is all processed ones which we get, or Sudan grass. These are raised as food for the livestock. So, what we must know that agriculture provides us with carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, proteins, water, and that all is obtained from agriculture. Not only that, for animals also, oats, barsim, Sudan grass, they are raised as food for the livestock. Right? So, for domestic animals also, this is very useful. But what we must know is different crops require different climatic condition, temperature and photo periods for their growth and completion of their life cycle. What do we mean by that? See, different crops require different climates. Means some crops will grow in summer, some will grow in winter. They all require different temperature. Some plants will grow at high temperature, that is in summer season. Some require low temperature, that is in winter season. And photo period. Photo means light. Duration of light. Now duration of light is less in winter and more in summer. We know that, right? In summer, early sunrise and late sunset. So, lot of light is obtained. Opposite is the case in winter. Late sunrise and early sunset, less photo period. So, plants will grow as per the photo period only for their growth and completion of their life cycle. Then and only then their growth will be proper and completion of their life cycle will be alright. Growth of plants and flowering are dependent on sunlight. Sunlight is required for everything, whether it is growth of plants or flowering in case of plants. Plants, we all know that plants manufacture their food in sunlight by the process of photosynthesis. Without sunlight, agriculture is not possible. Plants will not be able to manufacture their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Now, we are going to see one of the important short question, that is crops which are grown in rainy season are called kharif crops, right? Crops which are grown in rainy season are called kharif crops. They are grown from June to October. Means after the first rain, sowing of these crops is done and harvesting is done around October. So, crops which grow in rainy season are called kharif crops. You will learn these definitions and in form of distinguish between also. This is very very important. Please remember, right? So they are grown from June to October. Once you learn this both for science and social science, this would be helpful. Which are the examples? This also you should know. Paddy means rice only. You should remember that way. Soya bean, pigeon pea means tuer. Then maize, cotton, green gram and black gram. They are kharif crops. So examples you should know that these are the examples of kharif crops. Then next type of crops are rabi crops. Crops which are grown in winter season are called rabi crops. Crops grown in winter season are nothing but rabi crops. So first point of difference, crops growing in rainy season, they are kharif. Winter season, rabi. There it was June to October. Here it is, they are grown from November to April. What is their sowing time? November. And what is their harvesting time? April. Right? We all know that after the kharif crop is harvested and allowing few days rest to the field, after that sowing of rabi crops is done. And its harvesting is done in the month of April. Which are the examples? Wheat, gram, peas, mustard, linseed, they are rabi crops, right? We know that wheat, that is why storing of wheat and all occurs after March, April month, because harvesting occurs around April. Nowadays with the increase in technology, all this has become early, right? Same is the case with gram, peas, mustard. For all these things, they are nothing but rabi crops. They grow in winter season. Now, so rabi crops and kharif crops, that is very very important. We must prepare it. In India, there has been 4 times increase in the production of food grains from 1952 to 2010, with only 25% increase in the cultivable land area. So, what we must know is, as I told you, Green Revolution means tremendous increase came in the field of agriculture. If you remember, I had asked you, who is the father of Green Revolution? I hope you must have prepared the answer. You must have googled it, right? It is so that, or read it somewhere. Maybe you must be knowing the answer too. It is Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. Same way, I had asked you about who is the father of White Revolution, and the answer is Dr. Verghese Kurian, right? So, we must know that. I talked about that Green Revolution from 1952 to 2010. There is 4 times increase in production of food grains. But cultivable land has not increased 4 times. Only 25% increase has occurred in the cultivable land area. How has this increase in production been achieved? What have we done that a developing country like India could achieve 4 times more production? Then we must understand is that all this was not possible overnight. If we think of the practices involved in farming, we can see that we can divide it into 3 stages. First is choice of seeds for planting. That is why now everybody uses HYVS, that is high yield variety seeds. Seeds are of best quality. Second is nurturing of the crop of the plant. Means providing enough water. For that, government has increased irrigation facilities, fertilizers, manures, all that. The third is the protection of the growing and harvested crops from loss. So, third is protection of the growing, that is by pesticides and insecticides and all that. Thus, the major groups of activities for improving crop yields can be classified as first one, crop variety improvement. These are the topics which we are going to study in detail. Right? So, first is crop variety improvement. Second is crop production improvement. How can we improve the variety? How can we improve the production? And second is how to protect the crop. So last is crop protection management. Right? So we have seen improvements in crop yields. Now one worksheet question is there, which is also the in-text question. What do we get from cereals, pulses, fruits and vegetables? I am sure you must be able to answer this question just like that. Right? If not, you can always refer the notes given in this video. So, see the video and answer the worksheet question. We will discuss the answer to this worksheet question in the next session.